My name's Judith Robinson. I teach at William Davison Elementary School in Detroit. I teach extended day kindergarten. This is my 28th year. The students were reviewing farm animals that they knew because it was a culmination of a barnyard activity theme that we had covered. So they were brainstorming animals that they remembered, recreating the sounds they made, drawing the pictures of the animals on paper so that we could make a book from that, but also drawing the pictures onto the computer so that we could create a slideshow with a song, Old Mick Robinson Had a Farm. So when we're done with the activity, we actually end up with 3 products. We have a book they made of their pictures, we have a slideshow, which is also printed out as a book, and we have the slideshow on VHS tape. My goals for this activity are that the children can brainstorm a list of animals, farm animals, and they're remembering that they can draw the animals and communicate the idea through pictures. I assess the students by seeing how they actively participate in the activity of brainstorming, how they are able to take this idea back to their seats and draw a picture, and also participate in a musical activity of singing the song. We use the Houghton Mifflin Invitations to Literacy Readiness series, and one of the themes in that series is in the barnyard. So when we have finished in the barnyard, this is an activity that we do to just complete the whole thing, being able to bring in pre-writing skills where they're brainstorming and they're connecting their ideas, they are making illustrations and actually publishing, and this is part of the Detroit Public School Strands and Objectives. They're also keeping to the main idea. They're also using thinking and speaking skills, which are also part of our Strands and Objectives. We are reenacting this activity, although with kindergarten students, you never know what's going to happen. We have brainstormed lists of animals, we have drawn them, we've made the story, we've done it on the computer, but each time they do different animals. So for them, it is new each time, but they know the song and they know the animal sounds when we're reenacting, and they're actually coming up with some different animals for our brainstorm list. So for them, it's more of a review than a reenactment. We are finding that there's so many possibilities to use with KidPix and to use with kindergartners and technology. We've extended KidPix using sequencing, songs, field trip experiences, patterns, rhyming, math, and there's so many things we've been able to add with the students using KidPix and using technology. I feel it's really important for them to use technology in an urban classroom because it really shows what they are learning in a very visual way for them. Some things I have found out is that time is a major factor in just doing anything. I only have them 4 days a week. I need to monitor at the beginning of the year how often students are on the computer so that they each have a chance to develop their computer skills during that first semester. With recording, I have learned the hard way that you really need a cue. You need a point or a nod or a tap on the shoulder for them to start, because if you whisper to them, they'll whisper back. I found it's also really great to include an author's page with their picture and or their names, because even though they may not all contribute pictures, it gives the entire class ownership into the project. My activities are affected by the way my students react and their English. I teach extended day kindergarten in an urban setting. 50% of my students come in without speaking any English, which makes it difficult, and the other 50% are African American. 75% of them receive free lunch. They come from either semi-literate single-parent homes or homes where no English is spoken. So I do a lot of acting out with my students, so they are picking up on verbal, visual skills, and they can incorporate all of that. My students are given the Brigance 5-year-old test at the beginning of the year, and I take the students that test the lowest. So my common denominator for my class is low test scores, whether they speak English or not. And they have no computer skills prior to coming into the room. They don't own computers. So this is a great way for them to socialize and communicate and extend what we're doing in the classroom. I think learning is really evident in this activity because the students are at the center of their own learning. You see them in an informal setting, but yet they're being observed, and they are giving information or making connections to information that they have recently been exposed to. You see democracy in this lesson because the children are working together, they're actively participating so that they are coming up with a whole project for the entire class.